Hello and welcome to an episode of Atomic Vinyl Reviews, and today we're doing another unboxing, and it's about sort of one of my favorite topics we got on this channel, and that's Shin Godzilla. So for those of you who have been watching my channel, you know I'm a big fan of Shin Godzilla and done some videos sort of talking about various figures and like which ones I think are the best sort of Shin Godzilla figures. I did a sort of fairly long review of the Banpresto Shin Godzilla figure. I'll show you guys that. Is this one, and basically I went through that video and sort of talked about, you know, the various pros and cons of various Shin Godzilla figures, and my sort of conclusion was that probably for the price, this is probably the best Shin Godzilla figure and the most accurate you can get. At least at the time of that video, with the prices that were happening. But yeah, since then I've, you know, had some more Shin Godzilla figures here and there. I really love the Monster Arts figure, and some people have issues with that one, and understandably there was some quality control issues with the first run, but other than that I think it's a great figure. And then I showed you guys the Tease Facto Shin Godzilla kit. This is the bootleg version of that kit, which you can get for a really decent price. This is the progress on mine here. Yeah, I have a whole bunch of videos on that stuff, and I'll be kind of showing these figures throughout the video. And now, the reason I'm sort of bringing up these at the beginning was there was one figure that I was really keen on picking up, but it was just so bloody fucking expensive. And that was the Yuji Sakai sculpted official sort of 30 centimeter scale Shin Godzilla X Plus figure. And yeah, it's too expensive, especially with the current sort of conversion rates of American dollars to Australian dollars, blah blah blah, postage, all that jazz. So I didn't end up picking that one up. However, what happened since then was recently I found out that they are selling, and that's what's in here, they're selling kit versions of that figure, and I was just hyped to get that one. So here we go, let's get into it. At least that's what I'm hoping is in this box. That's what should be in here, like a, you know, a soft vinyl kit. So no, this one was a resin kit, the Tease Facto one, the bootleg version of that. So I'm gonna do a further update video on that thing soon, because, you know, you guys are probably curious how that's going. But yeah, this one should be like a bright red vinyl kit. So let's take a look at it, and it cost about as much as, you know, a regular sort of lower end X Plus figure. So still, you know, a fairly decent price on this thing, but not as much as the, you know, completed version. And also another thing that another figure that you guys knew I might know that I reviewed was the 25 centimeter Shin Godzilla. I did a whole rant about that one because I didn't really like that figure very much. I ended up getting it, and I was about to sell it, and I did a rant just before packaging it away to somebody who bought it. And yeah, that's why I was really keen on the 30 centimeter, because I think Yuji Sakai is a master sculptor, but the guy who did the 25 centimeter could have done better. Anyway, ooh, this is looking nice. It's a very dark box, but at least in person, on camera, it's a little brighter looking. But look at that! This really cool box that comes with it is snazzy sort of 1960s Showa type looking letters saying Godzilla. Clear red version, because these come in a couple of different colors. I think there's just a pure clear one that I've seen, and this one's the red one. It says Godzilla 2016 all soft vinyl assembly kit. And yeah, from what I've seen, yeah, Yuji Sakai modeling version, so that's really cool, because, you know, Yuji Sakai is the guy who does some specialties in the X Plus line. He does most of the Monster Arts figures, which is bloody awesome, because most of those come out perfect. So I'm just dying to see this thing in the red vinyl flesh. And finally, we'll have some actual vinyl here on Atomic Vinyl Reviews. Let's open this up. Come on, come on. Get in there. got like this shrink wrap over this thing. So I'm just gonna yank it off, you know. There we go. Oh, it actually says X Plus model kit. So yeah, definitely the X Plus version. Didn't even notice that, but this is, the cover isn't like a photo or anything. It's like it looks like a full-on painting of Shin Godzilla, and a very good one at that. Very representative of the. Jeez, I can't fit it in frame. That's great. You guys can Google a photo of it. Why not? Nice, see it there. But yeah, just again, loving that. We've been getting some really great box art on figures lately, like there's that NECA 1962 figure that came out. Great box art. Ooh, camera went out of focus there. What we got in here? Bubble wrap and a picture of Shinji. A little instruction manual I see there. Oh, isn't that great? So yeah, I'm really excited to put this thing together, see what it looks like. So, quite a big bubble wrap first of all. And here are the pieces. There's our main torso, some chunks of tail. There's going to be a lot of tail in this thing, obviously. No spines in the back here. Our spines come in one solid piece. Oh, that's a nice relief. I was worried they come in like separate little things that you have to glue on individually. Kind of like the Tease Factor one. This one's bloody huge, by the way, but yeah, you can see those. Okay. What else have we got in here? So I'll show you guys the spines. There they are. I'm gonna unwrap all this in a second. I'll show you it properly. And in here we got some various pieces of interest. We got, what's this? Looks like leg fragments and a tail stand in there. And I'm not quite sure where the head is at present, because it's not on the body. I think it's somewhere floating around in here. We'll find it. We'll find Shinji's head. Okay. So, bags are just taped together. Let's pour this stuff out. So, size-wise, this thing's looking to be, and from, I've seen reviews of the, actual X Plus figure, and size-wise, it is about the same size as the 25 centimeter scale one, but just the sculpt is impeccably better, because the 25 centimeter scale one, they were fucking lazy with that one. I don't know what was going on. But yeah, this one smells very plasticky. So we've got that ticked off. Got the smell. Ah, and inside this tail piece, we got little spines for it. Oh, this is gonna look so cool when it's put together. So these spines go over here. I don't think you even need to cut like a bit out in here. This will just fit in here perfectly. Thing of working with vinyl, what you do with it, I might do like a vague little series about putting this together. What you do with it, you heat it in water, hot water, and holy shit, they like stuck the spine pieces for each of the tail pieces inside them. So inside the piece, the appropriate piece. So yeah, you put them in water, because you see how this one's all warped? So you put it in hot water, it gets all floppy. You put it on this piece, for example, and you bend it down to fit perfectly. Then you cool it down, and it should stay locked in that position. And vinyl's pretty soft. It's like a squishy type of plastic. These things are sort of not really a sort of a medium vinyl. They're not soft, but they're not super hard either. So you can get a little bit of play out of them. But I'm not seeing his head yet. We got this the gory piece on the end of his tail. Looks great, really well detailed. So this is like an updated version on Yuji Sakai's. Hopefully you can see that, because it's all red, so you can't see much of the detail. But when we paint it and dry brush it and all that stuff, Maybe put in some lights, because this is clear red. Or, hell, just leave it clear red. It might look cool anyway, just like that. But, you know, you could put some lights in this thing, like some little fairy lights, and light it up so it looks like he's glowing. It'll look awesome. Yeah, let's keep looking here, because I want to find his head. It's probably in another piece, I'm guessing. So we got the little tail stand, very similar to the one that I have the Kamata-kun X 25cm scale X Plus thing, and it came with sort of a little tail stand and the same sort of grey plastic. Ah, here we go. There's his face. And a few pieces inside this leg chunk that we just opened up. So let's pour that stuff down. What have we got there? Some feet in there as well. Ah, here we go. Okay, so his face comes in, looks like 3 bits. Ooh, what is this? That is part of his hand. We have his head. This is his head. This is the back of his head, and this is front of the top of his head, and they kind of slot in like there, like so. And you see we have a Shinji face here. Very good. Yes. And let's have a look at this detail. Yeah, very nice. Looks really cool in this sort of looking very accurate, and looking very cool in this clear plastic. So the gnarly inner mouth type detail there. Hopefully the camera focuses. There we go. Camera's focusing pretty good on these pieces, so I think my camera likes Shin Godzilla, because usually my camera's a bit of a bitch about stuff, isn't it? And focusing. Yeah, these slot nicely together. We got some of his feet in here, and some other another bit of, I think that's like part of his shoulder or something. Yeah, looks like it's his arm that would go here. Okay, and his foot's kind of stuck in this piece, so trying really carefully not to damage anything. Oh, and it actually has the copyright stuff written under the foot. That's cool. It's actually all there. Really nice. Nicely done claws and everything. Yuji Sakai did the Ben Presto version, which is here. And, you know, he really knocked this one out of the park. It's like, you know, I had some issues with some bits of the face, maybe, and some couple of little nitpicks here and there. But overall, this one was so elegantly done that I was just really excited to see what he'd do with this 30cm one. And I think he did a bloody great job with what I've seen. Again, no figure has come out, like, extremely perfect, except for that, like, the one that costs, like, over $1,000, the, Kyoto Hideaki Anno version, which was, you know, made with the actual concept art, like the actual 3D printout of the exact film and all of that. And the monster art's got it pretty close as well. They're probably, you know, really close. But, you know, if there's anybody who's going to do a good job, it is Yuji Sakai. And speaking of which, you can actually see a signature, I just noticed, on this, the bottom of the foot here. Come on. Dear God. Would it focus? And it's not going to focus, but from distance, it's got a little scribble of his name in Japanese. And, GD16. Then it says UG. And that says H29.2. Maybe that means height 29.2 centimeters. But that's what it says under his foot here, and the other one has X Plus copyright info made in China, that kind of stuff. But yeah, some of these parts slot in together quite nicely already, so I don't know. Part of me is tempted to leave this thing just like a big red tall thing, but it would be really cool to see him, you know, fully painted up. But there you start to see his legs come together. I'm still looking for the rest of his mouth, which, in his arms, they're in here. Okay, they weren't here. So almost got all the bits. So yeah, this is little arms. They're actually, considering how big this one is, these arms, even though he's like meant to be almost 30 centimeters tall, look about as big as a Monster Arts, normal sort of Monster Arts figures, arms and hands, which is really just telling how tiny they are. And you know, I've seen a lot of people have issues with Shin Godzilla's design and all that sort of jazz, but for one thing, I've never had a problem with the arms being small. For some reason, I've always loved that, and just in general, I've grown to bloody love this design. I think it's a really unique design. They knocked it out of the park. They've managed to make it so iconically Godzilla-like. It's so different to any other Godzilla design that's come before it, which is really hard to do, and especially really hard to do as well as they did Shin Godzilla. But yeah, people are gonna bitch and moan about everything. I mean, you know, let them. I mean, I bitch and moan about the 2014 design to, you know, no end. For good reason, I'd say, but yeah, that's to be judged. Everyone has their opinion. Boy, I put his face together, and that is a very accurate looking Shin Godzilla face. So I'll try and kind of hold it together for you guys, and there we go. It's kind of starting to come into focus. But yeah, there you can see he's got his little eyes, his nose there. I love how they gave him, you know, an actual Godzilla, you know, face. They gave him the nose and the eyebrows and everything. And that's really something that I found lacking with stuff like 2014 and all of that. But yeah, I think they did a beautiful, you know, Yuji Sakai did a beautiful job here. The teeth are really nicely done. They're really hard to do, you know, just in general to sculpt in, but to do in like this sort of material, to have it, you know, cast in this thing and for it to look good is really tricky to do. But here they look really neatly, really cool. Yeah, very awesome. Let's kind of see what this will look like. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see, it also has stuff around the back of his neck here, so his neck's not going to be that thin. But that's kind of what it would look like. What else have we got? We got the spines. That's probably the last thing in this unboxing. And again, I'm definitely going to make an update video on this thing. Like, I'm sorry I haven't done very many on the Tease Factor one here, but this one I definitely got to do an update as soon as I get this thing put together. And here we are. Oh, some additional spines actually. Okay, so not all of the spines come on this one piece here, but you see, this is quite a feat of engineering for them to actually cast all of these spines just in one go on one piece of material. Man, they look good. He did a really good job sculpting these things. Again, tricky to sort of show you guys on camera because it's so red and sort of candy looking and glary and weird. Yeah, just when you look in person, the detail is all there, and it's gonna look so good put together. But yeah, there's some holes in places, and these spines are all there, but there's some in this bag here. So some of the bigger ones and some of the small ones, a couple of random ones. Oh, and a cool thing, I think this one does not require you to cut out many holes or anything like that. I think they just want you to cut out this little part for the legs here, just so you can slot these in. Maybe you don't need to cut out anything. Maybe you can just heat it, glue it together, and it will work. Yeah, looks like that might be the case. It's just a really sort of easy kit. Even the tail, you can just kind of slot in here with the big sort of flap that they use for an X Plus. So this is basically just literally an X Plus figure, but not painted, just not glued or painted. So if you're ever curious what that would look like, then you got this sort of thing. Yeah, just looking, I got the window in front of me, just sort of off screen here, through the light, looking really nice. This is gonna look amazing. Oops. So just kind of give you guys an idea of the height. Yeah, it looks, yeah, it's generally about as big as the 25 centimeter version. I don't think he stands quite 30 centimeters to the head. We could actually just kind of measure that, because I do happen to have a handy ruler. And just kind of see, almost 20, yeah, I guess it might be almost 29, depending on what angle. Also, the tail would be bloody huge, so I don't know. The 25 centimeter one was a huge figure anyway. But yeah, this one, with the sort of modern detailing of this one, it's going to look a little out of scale if you put it, say, next to some of these X Plus figures, because, you know, they had the bigger, bulkier features and the bigger head, and that sort of kind of look, whereas this one has sort of, he's got, you know, skinny elements to him, really thin arms, sort of smaller head, that sort of stuff, so it looks a little disproportionate to those ones. This one's meant to be, in real life, if it were a real thing, much bigger than, you know, some of those Godzillas back there, but so I'm not sure what you'd scale this one with exactly, but just on its own, it's would look really cool, and, you know, it's a nice big figure on its own. Just kind of trying to really vaguely assemble parts of this guy to give you guys a vague idea of what he looked like. But I don't think I'm gonna get much of that on camera today. But yeah, that is the Yuji Sakai Modeling Series X Plus kit of the 30 centimeter Shin Godzilla figure. So yeah, thanks so much for checking out this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and all that sort of jazz. I'll definitely be doing updates on this build and seeing what I do with it. I'm still like totally on the fence about whether to put this together with some like clear glue, make it really nice, and just have this red, pure red big Shin Godzilla just for like contrast. But then the other part of me just really wants a super accurate, awesome Shin Godzilla, so I don't know. Then again, there is the whole thing, like, I could put lights in this and all that kind of stuff, so that's a big temptation I might do, and all this sort of stuff. So, you know, leave your suggestions on what I should do in the comments below. And like I was saying, don't forget to like, subscribe, all that blah blah blah. And, yeah, may all your vinyl be a radiated vinyl. Over and out.